Today's Mindbender is about parenting. That'll probably trigger a debate. I'll stay out of it and just share the question. We'll also talk about the best Star Wars characters, the number of people who are happy with their paycheck. Is that you? And a new nickname for one generation that is not flattering, but it is kind of funny. All of that's on the way, but first, let's handle this Mindbender. 53% of people look unfavorably upon parents who blank. Parents who what? I'll have a clue on the way. Well, it is Star Wars Day as I record this. And for some people, the May the 4th joke is still hilarious. Bless their hearts. But USA Today got very bold. They decided to rank the top 75 characters from the Star Wars franchise. 75, good Lord. We must really love our bad guys. Darth Vader was number 1. Han Solo was next, then Princess Leia, then Luke Skywalker. Yoda came in 5th place. Count higher they should. I know, I suck at character voices. You don't need to point it out in the comments. I will share a link to the full list in the notes below. That is, if you've got half a day to kill. And at least an hour of that will be just closing out all of the pop-up ads. Are you satisfied with how much money you make? Don't laugh. It's a real question. A survey found that Americans have never been so unsatisfied with their paychecks. Barely half of people, just 52%, are happy with their income. Now, in the old days, people would just up and leave to find a better job somewhere. But the job market, pretty tough right now. A lot of employees say they just feel stuck. And yet we apparently think very highly of our skills. The minimum salary that people say they'd accept from a new job, well, that just hit a record high. I have to laugh about that. My stepdaughter is a third of the way through her master's program, and she has confidently claimed that she will make 6 figures right out of school. I just quietly nod. Okay, time for a clue for today's Mindbender. 53% of people look unfavorably upon parents who blank. Hey, the little monsters are speedy, I'll give them that. Yeah, that's your clue. I'll come back with your answer in just a moment. It seems, at least it seems to me, like there's never been more of a battle between the generations. Lots of labeling, lots of name calling, maybe a touch of insecurity on all sides. The latest is how Gen Z is being nicknamed the Christopher Columbus generation because they keep discovering things that already existed. The newest one is silent walking, which is just walking around without your phone. You know what the rest of us just call walking. Another is Coke floats, which many younger people have been screaming about discovering, even though Coke floats have been around since the 1800s. This is all kind of funny, but it's also a little bit unfair. There is a terrific article that I found by Rachel O'Connor on Newsweek, where she talks about how each generation, essentially does the same thing. She quotes a generational expert named Callie Foster, who says the difference is social media, which Gen Z has had their entire lives. So if you think about it, they've had a lifetime to amplify their discoveries and their thoughts and their ideas. I think that's a fair point. I was impressed with something a writer named Blair Channing Ray said. She talked about how easy it is for people, and I would think really of any generation, to dismiss something as irrelevant simply because it, quote, predates your algorithm. She said, the significance begins at the moment of personal encounter. Anything outside that encounter can be safely dismissed. Again, this is probably true for everybody. It's just that most older generations, well, they don't document the minutia of their lives on the socials, so they're out of the line of fire. If you're into the psychology of generational gaps like I am, you might want to check it out. I will include a link to the article in the notes below. Okay, here comes your answer for today's Mindbender. 53% of people look unfavorably upon parents who keep their kids on a leash. Hey, I'm old enough to have learned my lesson about commenting on other people's parenting techniques, so I'll just quietly mosey along. That'll wrap it up for today's Mindbender. Thank you for your time. To never miss an episode, well, just subscribe and share it with your friends. I'm Dom Testa.